Hello everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where once again we expose ourselves to the special gifts that we bring to the world, where our interaction and our communication is something that we thought was not of this world. But that communication is part of this world. That ability to make a difference is part of this world. It's not foreign, it's familiar. And as we look forward, we can see that if we hold a real picture of excellence, that's what appears. And that's what comes into our life without any effort at all. So as we find our connection to our origin, and we actually step forward into the world of our Creator and invite ourselves into that world where we have a place, we can then also do exactly the same in the physical world. So with much training and effort, we got to a point where we found out what we were doing was actually not making a difference. It was creating much more work for us and much more confusion in the world. And now we've elevated ourselves beyond the reach of all the logic, and we've taken ourselves into a world that belongs to us. Not to all of us, but to each individual. The world of magic and miracles that you created and that you support every minute of your life. So when there's an intermingling of beings or of frequencies or of events, it is possible to stay on top of everything and ride the wave as if it belonged to you, and to push forward that little bit so that it does actually belong to you. And in doing so, you have actually eliminated all responsibility, because that world is yours and everything in it is yours. And you don't hit yourself on the head with a hammer to prove that the head belongs to you. Each time you do that, you hurt yourself. Each time you damage anything in your world, you hurt yourself. And after lots and lots of mishaps, we've found that if we're nice to ourselves, we're nice to everybody in the world, we're nice to everything and every event, and the interaction becomes a dance, one that works perfectly for everyone, without thought and without effort. As long as we keep moving forward, following our spirit, and going the random path that presents itself every minute. As we leave one stage of our life and move into another, we find that the past becomes something different to the future. And we find that if we try to judge the future on what's past, we haven't really moved. We've just changed the picture. So the progress in life, rather than going backwards and forwards or around in circles, is now going forward at a pace where the past is a picture of the past, and it has no relativity to now or to the future. And the immediate future is determined exactly by how you feel, how you act, and how you respond to spirit, how you disturb the moment to reformat everything around you with a laugh or a smile or a joke or something lighthearted or a little bit of mischief or a beautiful meal or a celebration. All those things reformat that immediate moment in front of you. And it's not now, it's the immediate future. Because what happens now is the result of the immediate future. As you're stepping forward, it's like driving the car. The further you look forward, the easier it is to drive. And even though the law says you learn by your mistakes, you actually don't make mistakes if you see the future. If you look forward and you're aware of everything around you. So you're not closing off any input. So in the physical world, we have the same situation as on the road doing 70 or 80 miles an hour. You have to be aware of everything around you. You look forward and you enjoy the trip. And your system works automatically. And you know you feel comfortable. As soon as you feel uncomfortable, you start looking for what's wrong. So in your travels through life, you can be totally aware with your eyes wide open and know that you're in many, many places at once. And you're picking up signals from everywhere. You're being looked after from above, from below, from front and back, and all around. And it's strange when you get a feeling that somebody's too close behind you. And you look in the rear vision mirror and that's true. Because all those inputs are there even though you're not taking notice. But your awareness is alive and active. And as you interact with people, your awareness of the spatial awareness is just as important of your awareness of their feelings. If you find somebody right up close in your space, you move out of the road really quickly because you are programmed to not run into anyone or anything. You have automatic systems that allow you to deviate in any direction at all to prevent an upfront interaction or a collision. And so, just like the road, as you look forward into the future, you enjoy what's coming. And your path there is perfect and always controlled by the systems that are already built into you, that need no maintenance, need no attention, and most certainly don't need to be modified. So in advancement, there is no learning. There's only advancement. In knowledge, there is no learning. There's only what is available right in front of you as you see, feel, or indicate by what comes into the millions of inputs all around you. So much of the interaction around you actually only goes through your field. It doesn't interfere with that up-close, interactive part of yourself. And because of that, you're sometimes not aware of how important it is. So if there's a storm on the horizon, you can either feel the electricity of it, or you can feel the terror. If you feel the electricity, if you feel the elevation, you will enjoy the storm, and it won't destroy you. If you go the other way, anything's possible. It's the same with every step you take. If you're concerned you may step on a stone, you probably will. If you're not concerned, you probably won't. Because concern is an interference into the natural flow of your being. It's like analysis. You can only come up with the answer that is determined by the limits you put on your analysis. You can't come up with the millions of variations that your system can actually handle. So you have a feeling of comfort when you're on the road, or when you're in someone's presence, or when you're amongst the trees. And you don't have to think about it. It's just there. And all of a sudden, you may realize that something that was annoying you, either mentally or physically, is gone. Because there are systems within every part of this world that are just as powerful as the universe itself. And this is where we're going. We're bringing into the physical world the knowledge that we understand how the universe exists in everything, how we exist in everything, and how our influence makes a difference to all things. And we don't have to wait for the researchers to tell us that the plants react if we're not in the right mode. We know. When everything's blossoming for us, so do the plants. The flowers open when you sit near them. They close when you move away. There are many, many different aspects of the house around you that are there to support you personally. And it's been proven over centuries that the herbs that you need to keep you healthy will be within 100 yards of where you live, because they grow there for you. And if that's not magic, you see how the weather changes when you need it to. See how you're protected. And if you've ever experienced walking in the rain and not getting wet, you'll understand that there's much more to you than just the being you look at. And many people have experienced not realizing that it's actually raining on them, and they don't get wet. They walk for half a mile and find they're dry, but never took any notice of it on the way. So all this is coming into our awareness again. We're about to launch the greatest gifts of all times back into the physical plane, back to where Earth is, that magic star that everybody's dreamt of. And that magic star is the one that has the focus of everyone in the universe right now, because it is giving birth to new life. Your new life, the one you brought into the world. And it's focused only on yours. Your brain gets all confused when you say, but there's more here than me. Because that is not true. Your world is your world, and everything and everybody in it is yours. That's the mystery of the universe. And all your view is the one that you see, that you observe. Everybody else can view whatever they want, and they will have a similar experience, but never the same. And it's proven beyond doubt that nobody can prove that you see exactly what somebody else sees, because you don't just see with the optical side of yourself. There are so many other things involved. And if you want to take that further, there are people who can read a book to you with their eyes blindfolded. There are people who have never been able to see and can describe everything. You don't have to do any of that. You have a perfect world. As it is, without modification, it will blossom just like a flower. And it does have times when you don't think it's the best life because somebody is advertising something better. But in fact, it's the correct time in your life for something to regenerate, for something to change, for something to stop and something else to start. And flowers don't remain in blossom all the year. But that's how you enjoy them. Because as they come fresh and anew, they are different. They've changed. They're more brilliant. And that's the same with people. As you step forward, you might have times when it seems like you're having a bad time. That's when you look to the future so that you're running smooth. Like in a car, if you get on a bumpy road, the best way to see where to drive is to look further forward, and you will find you start to drive a good path, one that's analysed from all the data without you thinking. But if you look down and try to steer, you'll get unstable. In life, we are here to advance everybody's vision, to the vision that you brought into the world. It's not imaginary. It's clear. It has energy field and enormous power. And each time I mention it, you can feel it. It is the reality that we all know about. And each time you look forward and you look into the future, you see what you built. You see the marvels and all the miracles. And every now and then in your immediate future, you feel the excitement of one of those miracles entering your field. And they're only entering your field because you're still moving. And there are no shadows because you're looking far ahead into the light of your Creator. And you're projecting an amazing light that's called the future that you actually know about, that you can create without detailing one thing to anybody, not even yourself, because that part of you is so advanced, so fast. We describe things as instant, but when you're working at your superhuman level, everything's happened before the instant you're aware of. It is not instigated by you having a thought. It's done before that. And in fact, many people hear what's coming from others, just like a story. And they hear it in a fraction of a second and they start to laugh because then they see it actually happening in front of them. Or you hear somebody's question before it's actually said. And many times you have to be careful not to answer before the words come out. And it's becoming more and more common for people to know the answer before the question is asked, because the answer is always there for you to pick out of nowhere before anybody even realizes that you know what's coming. So as we step forward again, the only thing in our world is beauty, excitement, enhancement, and all the very best for everyone. So as we turn our energy towards that picture we have, it actually starts to generate itself in the world. And your total awareness of that happening is all that's needed. Because awareness is the simplest thing in the world. It's extremely hard to shut off from things. But it's not hard to keep your eyes open, your ears open, your feelings open, your heart open, and know that you need no protection. That's the falsity that's been floating around for a long time, that you need protection. It's already part of the system. It's not for you to actually exercise. I know, even in a major accident, you're looked after. If some part of you is damaged, you don't feel it at the time. You might feel it afterwards because you've then engaged your brain to decide to fix it. But at the time of the accident, it's just too fast and your whole system slows down and you look from a distance and you watch everything around you and you don't even think of the condition your body is in. There are enormous resources available to us all. And all we have to do is allow them to be. Be aware of the possibility, and it will become a probability and then a reality in the shortest time you can imagine. So to love one another and to open your heart to the world and to flood it with all your gifts is all that's needed. And remember nothing. If it's needed, it will appear in the future. It will come up in lights, and you'll see it ahead of time. And you'll know that you projected it in the total light of a world of magic and miracles, where everyone feels a perfection and the highlight of your being. Know all this, but then forget it and live it. The only way to know life is to actually live it to its fullest. And the definition of a full life has never, ever been produced. And it's different for everyone. But you know what a full life is. And you can open up to that full life knowing that it's going to be different every time you do. So you open up to that full life every day, and you know that every day is going to be different. Even though you think you've got everything programmed, it will be different. And you can be assured that it's you doing it. So cast a light on the future, and the future is yours. Cast a light on everybody's future, and their future is theirs. That is the power of man and woman and child. And it's also the power of the creatures of the earth. They look upon you the way you look upon them, and you feel brilliant. And the excitement is just unbelievable. So each time we decide to make a difference, know that you don't have to make a difference to anyone or anything. You just make a difference. You elevate your field, you go forward, you shine light, you open your eyes and you open that awareness to the super part of yourself so that your supercomputer is wildly working and you're madly following your spirit with abandon, without any care or any concern. And not even any knowledge there is such a thing as something that can hurt you. And as we continue to do this for ourselves, it will appear for everyone else. So make sure that in all that, you add the little thing that we always add at the end. And that's to wish everyone and offer to everyone a perfect life, perfect health, and an extremely magic future. Thank you.